Welcome back. And before we hop directly into all the insanity happening on a global scale, I want to first say, regardless of your political opinion, innocents' lives are at stake here, and they're going to be the ones that are going to suffer the most due to greed and irresponsibility from the ivory towers. The fact that this is still happening in 2022 is not only tragic, heartbreaking, but it's so sad that humans have not evolved, and we no longer can use our words to communicate a feeling, an idea, or what we want to happen. We have to go to war. We have to fight. We have to cause a ruckus. And it's all over money and power. So I just want to say my heart, my prayers go out for those who are going to be impacted by this, because it's just not fair to them. With everything that's happened on a global scale for the last few years, our children have suffered enough. They really, really have. And this is not in just the United States. It is everywhere. And it's actually more so in other countries. And the fact that stuff like this is still going on when we are in the middle of a panorama is absolutely insane. It makes no sense to me. But let's go ahead. We're going to talk about Russia. We're going to talk about the Ukraine. We're going to talk about some other stories and how this is potentially impacting the crypto and the stock market. More importantly, with gold. Gold is pumping right now as we take a look at our first story. Gold surges to its highest level in over a year after Russia launches attacks on Ukraine. It has been allegedly reported that Russia has entered into Ukraine. And the reason why I say allegedly is because all the information is being brought to us by social media. I have no idea where our president is. I don't know where our vice president is. That is a whole different story. So we really don't know what's going on. And I think it is important to note that pay attention to different media sources. Do not take what I'm saying as 100% true. Do not take what Fox News, CNN, MSN, whatever the media outlet is. Don't take what's being posted on social media as 100% true. Listen to different sources, take in different information, different opinions, and make a decision for yourself. You're intelligent enough to do so. And if I give misinformation, correct me, because I want to be better. And I'm not here to portray misinformation. I just want to give the basics and give my opinion on that. So we see that gold is surging. And if we take a look at the gold chart, if we take a look at the gold daily chart, you're going to see a swing wick high to approximately $1,975. But look at that. We can see by this chart how much panic there is in the market. We're going to see people moving over to gold because they understand how gold works. And there's a lot of people in the world that are not educated about Bitcoin or crypto. And in order for Bitcoin to serve its intended purposes as electronic cash or a P2P currency, you need to be able to send send you Bitcoin. You're able to take that Bitcoin, not cash it out on a centralized exchange, but send that Bitcoin to somebody else for goods or services. And we're really not there yet. Any way, shape, or form, we are not there yet. So you're going to see a lot of mainstream people and retail investors head over to gold because they're going to believe that it is going to be a safe haven. But when we take a look at the chart, you can literally see the fear in the market. Because of this swing wick high to $1,975, we quickly retrace to $1,922, which this is kind of volatile to looking at the stock market, because the stock market and commodities, all that stuff moves differently. So as far as gold goes, market cipher just printed another green dot. Can we continue to run upward? Possibly. Really possibly. When we take a look at the 12-hour chart, you can see that massive dump that occurred, which is kind of crazy for the stock market. 6-hour chart is also displaying some bearish price action. So right now, I do not think it is a good idea to ape into anything, whether it be traditional stocks, whether it be crypto, whether it be Bitcoin. If you want to go ahead and set limit orders and buy that dip, that's fine too, but understand how volatile these markets are. Just because gold is regulated, just because it is part of TradFi, doesn't mean that you're not going to experience volatility. Look at this 12-hour chart. You literally see the run up and the dump downward. And honestly, if we do start to lose support at $1,913, we'll get down to some of these levels over here, probably a full retrace to about $1,857. So now let's take a look at the current Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin, even before we had this terrible, tragic news, Bitcoin has been in a downtrend. It has been in an absolute downtrend. The only difference is that we're seeing a lot more volatile lows. And the reason why is because all of the fear in the market. On top of Russia and Ukraine, this story was announced. And big shout out to Blockchain Boy. While everyone is paying attention to Russia, China thought it would be a good time to start. Please, can we just get along? Taiwan reports 9 Chinese aircraft in its air defense zone. So not only are we having trouble with Ukraine and China, and there's travesty going on there, but now we may have a possible another invasion in a different country, which is also going to be tragic. So the markets are going to be shaky, and they're going to be shaky for quite some time. But the most important thing to speak about here when it comes to Bitcoin, yes, Bitcoin is supposed to be a hedge against inflation. Yes, Bitcoin is supposed to be kind of a safe haven, but it is still an investment. It is still a volatile market. And we are not seeing people use Bitcoin for its intended purpose yet, for P2P transactions, completely away from centralized entities like banks and exchanges. So right now with Bitcoin, price is looking terrible, and this is going to impact your altcoins. It's going to definitely impact your altcoins. And if you think it's not going to, you are terribly mistaken. People are like, oh, I'm just going to buy the dip. I'm going to buy the dip. Do that if you want, but realistically, why would you buy the dip now when we are going to continue to bleed out? I don't necessarily think that we're going to have an epic rebound right now. Things need to kind of settle down. We're currently getting ready to test a $33,000 support. And if we continue to drop, which I think we have a good chance of doing so because of all the insanity in global markets, we'll test 29,000. If we break 29,000, we will enter a bear market 100%. That is my personal opinion. Obviously, fact check me on this, but even taking a look at the 12-hour chart, we're dropping, we're having a little bit of a rebound, but we would have to break above this 37.5 area and realistically above 39. Taking a look at the 6-hour chart, we are getting a nice rebound. We're starting to get some nice curls upward, but again, I need to see 39,000 broken upward. 4-hour chart, we're seeing a nice rebound, and the 45-minute chart, we're seeing a nice rebound, but we're getting hit by all these areas of resistance. And again, on this 200 EMA, you can see pressure being placed here. So overall, when it comes to the crypto markets, just be very, very careful. Just because Bitcoin is supposed to be this great thing against inflation and war and whatever it is, doesn't mean numbers gonna go up, because the true fundamental aspects of Bitcoin is a P2P currency. So if you think I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna buy the dip, I'm gonna hold long term, that's fine, but be careful with altcoins, because a lot of these are not gonna rebound. And what this is doing is actually flushing a lot of the garbage out. I'm sorry, you guys, excuse my language, but Bitcoin Archive, this is actually absolutely ridiculous, this last statement here. I'm not even going to get into what's wrong about it, but this account posts absolutely ridiculous stuff sometimes, and so does the Bitcoin magazine. Heck, yesterday they tweeted this: Bitcoin is built for this. The fact that we're going to war and we're experiencing all this turmoil and these people think that it's okay to go ahead and tweet stuff like this, it's absolutely crazy. Like, where is a human decency? So back to this story here. Yes, Bitcoin can be a protection for when things happen like this. When big institutions, when ivory towers do want to go ahead and shut people's bank accounts down. However, you need to know how to use Bitcoin properly to do so. And still, at the end of the day, Bitcoin is not going to save the world. Bitcoin is a very, very great asset. I love it. I believe in it. I own a lot, but it is not the end all be all. It is not going to save the world. We're going to see a lot more crazy regulation come into play with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and they're going to make it really, really hard for you to access and use it in a true decentralized manner. Either way, I do think Bitcoin is great for purposes like this, but at the same time, we do need to work on showcasing decency, because stuff like this is just absolutely ridiculous. This next segment is sponsored by Party Horses, and I'm actually really excited to talk to them because they are literally bringing the physical, tangible world to the intangible NFT space. And the way they plan to do that is bridging the gap with Web3 in real life with bourbon, NFTs, and horse racing. Their mint is happening on March 15th of 2022, and it's going to be a collection of 10,000 NFTs on Ethereum. And basically, they just want to create a fun place for people that are new to the space, with people that do have experience, and bring it together with intangible and tangible goods. Probably the most important and coolest thing about this, which yes, the art is super cute, and this kind of looks like me. Maybe they'll send me an honorary Party Horses NFT. All right, so this is probably the coolest aspect of party horses, which, yes, I know this looks like me over here. I see some of y'all in the comments, but if you go ahead and you participate in the first drop, you're going to get tickets to a Kentucky Derby party during the weekend of May 7th in Louisville, which is the Derby's annual host city. The party will feature artists y'all love and know, and they're also committed to providing every NFT holder, which you guys do have to be 21 or plus, with the ability to secure a bottle of bourbon through one of our whiskey partners. Learn about our roadmap further below. And that whiskey partner sounds like it's going to be Maker's Mark, which I actually enjoy a nice glass of whiskey, water, and ice on a very, very rare occasion. Either way, you guys, I think that this is a pretty cool project, and I think it's kind of worth it just for the opportunity to go to a Kentucky Derby party, which I really want to go to one of those. Get to wear one of those cool hats. On top of it, you get a bottle of bourbon. Who doesn't want a bottle of bourbon? Of course, 21 and over. In closing, I want to thank you for watching the O Show. I also encourage you to heavily disconnect from social media when you can. If things start to get a little bit overwhelming, please disconnect. Don't take one source's opinion, okay? That is very important, because if you just listen to one source, you're going to miss out on a lot of the other important information out there. I am sending you all love and light. Thank you for supporting me. I will see y'all later.